To turf weather in the northwest. Thunder, lightning, heavy storms, and cold temperatures rock Oregon. Rain hits Portland while snow pounds Mount Hood, and it's not even winter yet. Tonight, Storm Team 12 watches the weather first on Fox. You name it, and Oregon's seen it. Wild weather that's hit every part of the state, including the first major snowstorm of the year. Snow began falling over the weekend on Mount Hood and continued throughout the day. We'll take you live to the mountain in just a few minutes.
But first, it was a wet day here in Portland as well, but our precipitation was measured in rainwater. Several storms kept folks in downtown Portland dodging puddles and running for cover. All in all, pretty chilly, almost wintry out there today. Meteorologist Rod Hill joins us now with more details. Rod?
Yeah, what a day, huh? The weather setup is an easy one. We have a big trough of low pressure, cold air is spilled in, and this is winter-type stuff. And when you get winter-type weather flow in the fall, when you still have relatively a lot of daylight hours, meaning sun heating things up, you can really get some surprises in terms of just how stormy weather can quickly turn. Up the timberline we go. There's Mount Hood. The last report we picked up, some 8 inches of snow. Now remember, timberline sits up at about 6,000 feet, so very wintry like up there. By the time you get down to pass levels, no snow to speak of, perhaps some wet snow falling up there overnight tonight. The snow level tonight goes all the way down to 4,000 feet. Remember, that's about pass level. And then we'll rebound a little bit up to about 5,000 feet. But again, 8 inches up at Timberline Lodge from this storm. I do want to show you the radar right now. Let's take a look at that. Things are beginning to calm down. Earlier, some pretty big storms. This will show you the last 6 hours. And you can see how things are really starting to trickle or fade away. But we've had severe thunderstorms down in Marion County, down around the Salem area today. Hail, some pretty good winds, a lot of lightning in cases, and some heavy rain. I will tell you the worst of that for the time being is starting to fade. Will we get another repeat tomorrow? And will there be more snow up in the mountains that you need to worry about if you're traveling? We'll talk about that coming up later in the show. Kurt and Shauna?
And you can get up-to-the-date weather from Storm Team 12 whenever you want. Just log on to KPTV.com for hourly weather watch updates. Again, that's KPTV.com.
Good firefighting and the change of the season helped stomp out Oregon's last wildfire of the season. The 336-acre bowl fire is now 100% contained. Firefighters are in the final stages of mop-up. They've spent the past week dousing the flames and getting some much-needed help from the fall rains. That fire started on National Forest land, but investigators aren't sure how. The weekend rains have lessened the fire dangers all over the Pacific Northwest. The Willamette National Forest has moved the fire danger to low, and that means fire restrictions that had been in place have finally been lifted.
A St. Helens man is dead, the victim of an early morning car crash. It happened on Cornelius Pass Road at about 6:30 this morning. The road was closed until about 1 o'clock this afternoon because of the accident. Deputies say 41-year-old Gary Johnson was driving this Toyota Tercel southbound when he hit a power pole. Now, preliminary findings don't indicate drugs, alcohol, or speed played any part in the crash, but police would like your help to find out just what led to this deadly accident. If you saw what happened, please call the Washington County Sheriff's Office at 503-846-2524.
Grand jury proceedings against Ward Weaver are continuing. Today, a judge threw down the gavel on an audio tape that Weaver recorded from the jailhouse. We get details from our Ryan Deal, who's live in News Control. Ryan?
Well, Kurt, it is a tape Weaver intended for his daughter to hear, and one prosecutors were eager to play for the grand jury. But today, the judge who listened to that tape ruled in favor of Weaver.
Exactly what Weaver said on the tape is anyone's guess. Only Weaver's attorney and now the judge have listened to it. Even a second attorney for Weaver in court today says he's in the dark.
That it would impinge on the attorney-client relationship.
And the judge agreed, accepting a motion to quash the tape, meaning 9 people on the grand jury will not hear the tape, and neither will prosecutors, who likely know none of the tape's contents, but were so eager to get it on the record.
They know it's a tape that he had intended for his daughter, if it was deemed appropriate, to be released to her.
His daughter, whom Weaver is reported to have treated well, will not hear the tape. Weaver's attorney chucking that idea more than a week ago because that could have easily opened up the tape to prosecutors and then to jurors.
We felt that it would have a chilling impact on the ability of Mr. Lyons and Mr. Weaver to communicate with each other. If Mr. Weaver is always of the opinion that things he tells his lawyer are going to be revealed to the judge and potentially to the whole world.
Now, protecting that tape was so important to Weaver's attorney that he actually filed motions with the Oregon State Supreme Court. Ironically, all of those motions today were denied. I'm live in News Control, Ryan Deal, the 10 o'clock news.
Grand jury proceedings are expected to continue tomorrow morning. The Department of Human Services is wrapping up its investigation of the way it handled the Ashley Pond case in Clackamas County. It admits it didn't follow proper procedures. Now it's planning an even bigger investigation. It'll spend the next 6 weeks reviewing child welfare policies and procedures in 4 counties: Baker, Coos, Jackson, and Lane counties. The DHS says it's changing its policy on reporting abuse since the Ashley Pond case. The agency says it'll report every case now to police and double check as well.
Accused killer Christian Longo will appear in court tomorrow in the first of 9 pretrial appearances this month. He's expected to plead innocent to the murders of his wife and 3 young children. Investigators say after he killed his family last December, he dumped their bodies into the waters off the Oregon coast. He was later found vacationing in Mexico. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. His trial is expected to begin in mid-January. The second suspect in the murder of a Pendleton family was in court today. Michael Webb faces 10 counts of aggravated murder, arson, and burglary. He could face the death penalty if convicted. And this is who he's accused of killing: Bob Browning, his wife Debbie Barnett, and their daughters Dawn and Stephanie. The family was killed by smoke inhalation when their mobile home was set on fire on July 29th. According to neighbors, Webb's co-defendant Cody Watson had a long-standing feud with Browning.
An autopsy was done today on a body that was found over the weekend in a Silverton Creek. That body was submerged in the water. Marion County investigators say the man appears to have been a transient. They found what looked like a camp nearby. Although the cause of death is still under investigation, deputies say it does look like an accidental drowning.
Hundreds of millions of dollars in cargo sits on barges and ships tonight along the West Coast, including right here in Portland. The Pacific Maritime Association, representing international shipping companies, has locked out thousands of West Coast longshoremen. The labor dispute is costing billions of dollars in lost revenue. KPTV's David Wilson joins us now live from the North Portland Harbor, where the fight rages on tonight. Dave?
Yeah, the fact that all these longshoremen here are outside Terminal 6 and not inside working on the docks is impacting all kinds of local business, from high-tech to agriculture. And every day this fight continues. It pushes the local economy further down the tubes. The labor fight leaves 600 Portland area longshoremen on the street. They wave signs of protest as tons of cargo ready to be imported or perhaps exported sit idle in the Portland Harbor.
We had onions that were supposed to go out. They've since canceled the shipment because they can't afford to have them sit on the dock and rot on the pier.
Patty Iverson Summer of Portland's Global Trading Incorporated says the labor dispute is affecting many segments of the local economy.
Got over 80 containers sitting on the dock on Terminal 6 waiting to be picked up by truckers. It can't be loaded on board. These are goods that are meant for the building industry, for the high-tech industry, for agriculture.
I'm not overly concerned at this point.
If the fight goes on much longer, it could even affect the automobile industry.
Long term, there's no question. If it's a long strike, it could impact the availability of product.
The Pacific Maritime Association has been in contract negotiations with the longshoremen union since July. Over the weekend, the PMA locked the longshoremen out of the docks indefinitely, saying they are not negotiating in good faith. Union representatives say the PMA is trying to break the International Longshoremen and Warehousers Union. Local business owners say they are caught in the middle.
I think the people involved in the negotiations have everybody except the nation at heart. They're thinking just about themselves.
Now, every day this labor dispute continues along the West Coast. It costs the nation $1 billion. If it doesn't end soon, the Bush administration may step in and order everyone back to work. We're live in North Portland. David Wilson, the 10 o'clock news.
All right, thanks, Dave.
Coming up, a former Portland Trailblazer accused of sexual misdoings here in Oregon. We have more just ahead on a lawsuit against Cliff Robinson.
Also, a famous Oregon landmark goes up in flames. We have more on the devastating fire at the McMinimans Rock Creek Tavern when the 10 o'clock news returns.
It happens every October. America's pastime goes prime time.
That'll win it! Tuesday on Fox 12 Oregon.
Yes, I like the dusty rose on you, too. Oh, hello. Welcome back to Cat Chat. Today, we're having a spa day, so let's all be extra quiet.
You thought I was bluffing? Try my new delicious taquitos with seasoned shredded beef and real cheddar cheese, or you're in for a cat chat-a-thon.
Shh. Ivanka is in her happy place. Who's next for a mani-pedi?
The new scent for men from Calvin Klein.
Get it on at Meyer & Frank.
The drug case involving the daughter of Jeb Bush is having serious effects on the governor's re-election bid. Details coming up on the 10 o'clock news.
When the state legislature was deadlocked by partisan bickering, one person stepped forward with a bipartisan plan to save our schools from devastating cuts. That person was Representative Bill Witt. Oregon education groups praised Bill Witt's leadership on education. Leading Oregon newspapers recognized Witt's plan as the best solution to save school funding.
Education should be the first priority of state government. I'll continue to work for an education system we can all be proud of.
Learn physical therapy.
From pain will come pleasure.
At the University of Seinfeld, 5 days a week.
Tonight at 11 on Fox 12 Oregon.
Welcome back. One of the oldest outposts of the McMenamins Empire is gone. The 113-year-old Rock Creek Tavern north of Hillsboro burned to the ground early this morning. KPTV's Jim Hyde sorts through the ashes.
The Rock Creek Tavern is history again. Once a stop on the overland stage route to the coast, locals say the original station burned in the 1940s. The blacksmith shop moved here became a neighborhood mainstay. This fire was reported about 1:30 Monday morning. By the time the first truck arrived, the building was already burning like a smithy's forge. Neighbors told Tualatin Valley firefighters they heard an electrical transformer blow. No sprinkler system in the vintage structure and no hydrants along Old Cornelius Pass Road. Flames were unquenchable.
A lot of history. I used to live out this way, so it was, yeah, it's a shame to see it go.
The McMenamin brothers have built a chain of taverns and hotels from Portland to Seattle to the Oregon coast, specializing in rehabilitating historic properties.
Yep, that's it. I don't think there's anything left.
The old stage didn't stop here anymore, but many neighbors did for beers and food and conversation. Brian McMenamin says they will again.
If we could start tomorrow and open next week, we would.
That will have to wait for the embers to cool and investigators to finish their work. Tualatin Valley firefighters say that could take several days. Whatever the cause, there will be little consolation to customers and employees.
It was a destination type location, great music, good food, great atmosphere.
What tavern?
Brian McMenamin is not crying in his beer. No one was hurt. The place was insured. He's already called for the old plans and the architect. In Rock Creek, Jim Hyde, the 10 o'clock news.
The McMenamins say the Rock Creek Tavern was the second oldest building in their company. They hope to have a new one out there on Old Cornelius Pass Road north of Hillsboro in about 6 months.
3 timber protesters are facing felonies in connection with the solo timber auction. Emma Murphy Ellis and Namarta Dosanjh appeared in Clackamas County Court today to answer charges of felony rioting and conspiracy after they blocked a car at the timber sale. They also face charges of interfering with an agricultural operation. But protesters say the charges are trumped up and they're being unfairly targeted for nonviolent civil disobedience.
Interfering with an agricultural operation is the latest effort by the state of Oregon to shield illegal and controversial old-growth logging from effective public protest. We recognize these charges for what they are, tools of harassment and intimidation used against those who draw attention to the flawed federal timber sale program.
The third protester, Michael McMullen, is being held in Washington County Jail on similar charges.
A trial date has now been set for the construction workers who claim they were exposed to chemical weapons. The workers say they were exposed to nerve agents while building a chemical weapons incinerator at the Umatilla Chemical Depot back in 1999. 36 workers have since filed a lawsuit against the Army, claiming they've been sick ever since. A federal judge has set the trial date for September of next year.
We may know tomorrow how many new security screeners will be hired out at PDX. The Transportation Security Administration is expected to announce in the morning how many screeners will come to Portland's airport. The screeners are necessary under new orders by the government that airport security across the country be tightened. A local job fair was held recently to pre-screen anyone who was interested in these jobs.
A Gresham man has died after being shot in a hunting accident. 58-year-old Clyde Shumway was hunting alone near Cooper Spur early Sunday morning when he was shot. Investigators say another hunter mistook Shumway for a bear and fired. No charges have been filed. Well, if you travel down 217, you probably noticed some of the billboards had graffiti painted on them. Similar graffiti has also turned up on fences and utility poles in Tigard. KPTV's Stephanie Fisher joins us now live with more. Steph?
Well, Shauna, it's not unusual to see graffiti like this behind me in a city the size of Portland. It is a little bit more unusual, though, to see it on a residential fence in a suburb like Tigard. And police tell me tonight the person who is spraying this tagline, "Never," is getting bold. It is a spray-painted screen, a one-word tag that perplexes people who pass by. Edith Bernard asked us what you may be wondering. What does this mean? Well, frankly, we don't know, and neither do police. But they aren't so much interested in what as who.
It's a criminal offense.
And it's offensive, especially to people who pay a lot for their house only to find graffiti on the fence.
And we just leave it like that. We don't bother to paint it anymore because they just keep doing it.
Annie Wynn and Lam Tan painted over it with black paint once. The vandals countered with yellow. The Never tag is on utility poles in Tigard, fences like Annie and Lamb's, and up until just a couple of days ago on billboards along 217. Police have removed it, but say if someone tries it again, they'll catch them. They also say it doesn't look like Never has anything to do with the gangs in Portland.
We don't have any information that would tell us that it is.
So what can be done? Annie and Lamb want the bus stop moved from behind their house, thinking maybe riders are doing the work, while Edith suggests a different way to get their message across.
They might do a little better if they put a little note there.
For now, it's a charge of criminal mischief for this. If it shows up much more, it will be a felony. And that means police will make sure Never shows up again. And it is very possible the graffiti and the Nevers will disappear. Police tell me that college students are often responsible for graffiti, and when the students go back to class, the graffiti disappears, and college students started back to class today. Live in Tigard, I'm Stephanie Fisher for the 10 o'clock news.
And here's something interesting. If police catch a graffiti vandal, they can charge them with every instance their particular tag shows up in town.
It was a wet and chilly day here in Portland.
So the question tonight is, are we going to see a fall season, or will we jump straight to winter this year? Rod has the details a bit later in the Pinpoint Forecast.
Also, a mother in trouble with the law after being caught on tape beating her child. She's back in the courtroom tonight in even more trouble. We have the very latest on the Madeline Toogood case.
And a bit out of hand, authorities in Eugene respond to campus riots at the U of O when the 10 o'clock news returns.
Ireland gave us Riverdance. England produced Stomp. Now come the Americans with the Tony Award winner for Theatrical Event of the Year, the entertainment phenomenon, Blast. Blast is explosive entertainment, a non-stop mix of spectacle and sound. What a cast! What a blast! This show is a pure joy. Blast is breathtaking, a surefire hit.
October 1st through 6th at Keller Auditorium. Tickets are on sale now. Part of the Broadway in Portland series, welcomed by K103 and Delta Airlines.
This is your appetite. You're about to undergo a mind-altering experience.
Arby's Market Fresh Roast Beef and Swiss. It's a whole new way to think about roast beef sandwiches.
Bakery soft bread, tender, juicy beef, fresh from the oven. And those fresh toppings. You'll reach a whole new level of roast beef consciousness, baby.
Arby's Market Fresh Roast Beef and Swiss.
Give in to your grown-up taste.
Some mega music distributors are busted for pricing CDs too high. What that means to you coming up on the 10 o'clock news.
21 years ago, Ted Kulingoski proposed legislation so anti-business it would have killed Oregon's job market. Today, nothing has changed. Kulingoski supports hundreds of millions of dollars in new income and sales taxes, tax increases that'll stifle business growth and job creation. And Kulingoski says the economy isn't as bad as people think. Ted Kulingoski, a step backward Oregon just can't afford.
Tonight, there are calls for the University of Oregon to do more to punish students involved in a weekend riot. 1,000 people gathered in the streets of Eugene early Saturday, and this is what happened. Police say it was people drinking too much, starting fires, and things getting out of control. 34 people were arrested, 27 of them were students, but the school's conduct code doesn't affect students who live off campus, as many of these did. There's not much the school can do to those students.
I'm going to write their parents, which I can do because it's not a confidential record. It's a city record, public record, and tell their parents how disappointed we are.
The campus newspaper is calling for an overhaul of the student conduct code.
In news from around America tonight, North Carolina police are waiting for DNA results on remains that could be those of a missing Virginia girl. 9-year-old Jennifer Short has not been seen since mid-August when her parents were found murdered in their home. Forensics experts say the skull and bones found on Wednesday near a small pond are those of a white female ages 9 or 10. Test results could be available in a couple of days.
2 America West pilots accused of trying to fly while drunk are facing new charges. Thomas Cloyd and Christopher Hughes pleaded not guilty today to what's called culpable negligence. Prosecutors say they added that charge for unlawfully exposing more than 100 passengers to personal injury by flying under the influence. The pilot's blood alcohol level was above Florida's legal limit of 0.08. Trial is set for November 4th.
A 30-year-old construction worker in Miami has a brush with death. The man fell about 20 feet into this concrete block built into the ground. His co-workers looked on as Miami-Dade fire and rescue personnel pulled him out with ropes. The injured worker was then whisked away by helicopter. No word yet on his condition.
Taking a look at news from around the world, representatives of the United Nations and Iraq are meeting in Vienna trying to work out the logistics of renewed weapons inspections. Chief UN Inspector Hans Blix is talking with Iraqi weapons experts about how many inspectors would enter the country and where they would go. Blix says nothing will be off limits if inspection teams are readmitted into Iraq. This will be the first test of Iraq's change in policy since it agreed to the unconditional return of weapons inspectors.
And tonight in Cuba, people are bracing for the touchdown of Hurricane Lily just 11 days after Hurricane Isidore pounded the island. Lily grew to hurricane strength today as it hit the Cayman Islands and Jamaica, where floodwaters and mudslides killed 4 people. It's expected to head for the Gulf Coast, touching down somewhere near the Texas-Louisiana border by week's end.
A chilly night in Portland tonight.
So what we want to know is, will we get a warm-up, Rod?
Well, sometime. In fact, take a look at this. The high temperature today in Portland was only 56 degrees. That is a record low max temperature. The old mark was 59 degrees, so unusually cold. And the storm total, if you go back to yesterday, was more than an inch. What about tomorrow? Stormy weather or warmer weather? Make your bet. I'll be back with the forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Plus, tracking down a killer, scientists think they've discovered the deadly ingredient in some foods that causes cancer. We'll have details in HealthCast when the 10 o'clock news returns.
Yeah, I can be tough, but sometimes that's what it takes.
For Ted Kulingoski, being tough on crime is what it takes. As Attorney General, he cracked down on violent crime and fought for drug and gang prevention programs. He helped pass a law punishing corporate polluters who dump toxic waste and took on elder abuse and scams against seniors. Endorsed by Oregon's police officers and chiefs, Ted Kulingoski, the experience to get things done, the common sense to do them right.
Once again, YoPlay invites you to join in our Save Lids to Save Lives program. For every pink lid you send in, we'll donate 10 cents to the Susan G. Komen Foundation, up to $750,000. Together, we can lick breast cancer. YoPlay, it is so good.
Okay, remember, we're just checking out prices.
So no matter what they say, we're not buying yet.
Right. What's running through your veins?
Ice water.
Right. Can't face it.
So with Circuit City's Price Match Plus, you're covered on price.
Well, take it.
Go ahead, take it. If you find a lower price within 30 days of purchase, we'll give you back 110% of the price difference. Circuit City, we're with you.
Nice game face.
You didn't even see it coming.
All the advanced medical technology in the world would be nowhere without this highly sensitive instrument. At Kaiser Permanente, when we say your doctor will see you now, we mean it. Not just what's wrong with you, but what's really bothering you.
Are we going to be able to go to Maui?
Maui? Call Vera. Tell her the vacation's on.
At Kaiser Permanente, you get to choose a doctor like Keith Novak, who's good at reading scans and faces, too.
Make the most of the season. Uncover fresh new ideas at the Portland Fall Home and Garden Show. Everything you need is here for every project you have in mind. See 10 gardens with big ideas for smaller spaces and save at the huge plant sale. Browse the all-new Borders book section and learn from the experts at dozens of seminars. It's all the best for your home and garden, all in one place. Don't miss the Portland Fall Home and Garden Show, starting Thursday at the Expo Center.
In HealthCast tonight, health officials say America is adequately prepared for the threat of a smallpox attack. New testing has shown watered-down doses can still work. These results mean that a cache of 86 million doses found in March contains enough vaccine for everyone in America in case of a bioterror attack. Recently, federal officials sent states detailed instructions for vaccinating their entire populations against smallpox. The plan offers guidelines on immunizing the entire U.S. population within days in the event of a terrorist attack. Well, here's a surprise. There might actually be some benefit to getting the sexually transmitted disease chlamydia. Scientists say it appears chlamydia reduces the risk of prostate cancer. Men with the chlamydia infection had antibodies, and the antibodies had a 31% lower risk of prostate cancer. And the higher the antibody levels, the lower the cancer risk. Now, Kurt and Rod, researchers don't recommend running out and getting chlamydia as a form of prostate cancer prevention, okay? New information tonight on a story that's been in the news quite a bit lately. Scientists have figured out how a potential carcinogen is ending up in foods like French fries and potato chips. When naturally occurring amino acids called asparagine are heated with certain sugars, it sparks the formation of the scary substance known as acrylamide. Well, that chemical is also found in some types of breakfast cereals, breads, and many high-carbohydrate foods that are baked and fried but not boiled.
Tonight, Mount Hood is a winter wonderland. Snow began falling over the weekend, continued throughout the day today. KPTV's Anna Katayama just came off the mountain. She's in Sandy with the latest on the mountain snowfall conditions. Anna?
Kurt, we are in Sandy, and at this elevation, the rain has stopped and the roads are absolutely clear. But if you head down the road a ways towards Timberline Lodge, there's snow on the ground everywhere. We brought some here to show you. Now, the snow caught a lot of people by surprise, and tourists heading up to Timberline Lodge today were in for a rude shock.
It's gorgeous. We're going to hike the falls. We're going to do all this beautiful hiking, you know. I said, it has turned cold. I mean, Camille, just since she got here.
Then President Deborah Fleming invited her friend Camille from Colorado to Oregon for a visit. But this is not the type of sightseeing they had in mind.
I mean, you know, we just don't have clothes. I don't have summer clothes.
Ski resort operators say 2 days ago the sandals would have been just fine. But several inches of snow fell almost overnight.
Well, it was kind of a surprise, but we got about 4 or 5 inches here at the base area, and it's, you know, very exciting.
Not quite enough to start the ski season.
Oh, we need about 30 inches of snow to get the cats out there, pack it down to a couple of feet.
Still, the anticipation is growing. The phone line stayed busy at Mount Hood Meadows. Skiers are buying their passes and getting excited about the upcoming season. Meantime, Deborah and Camille's visit to Timberline is cut short. They could only stand about 3 minutes.
We're going to Florida.
Sounds like a pretty good idea. So there's 5 to 8 inches of snow on the mountain right now. They need 30, as you just heard, before they can open ski season. It may sound like they have a ways to go until you consider that it is not unheard of to get a foot of snow in a day on Mount Hood. At that rate, they could be at 30 inches in no time. Now, typically, ski season opens just before Thanksgiving. Resort operators tell us tonight they think this year the season will open a little bit sooner than then. Live in Sandy tonight, I'm Anna Katayama for the 10 o'clock news.
So fun to see that snow. I'm kind of excited to bundle up, and everything was cold
weather
today.
over the weekend. Yeah,
it's nice.
Those snow operators, though. Folks, we're going to open any day now. Who knows? But
they haven't been talking to you yet, have
they? The water level up there, how much water fell from the clouds, 1.5 inches, and that turned out to be 8 inches of snow at the official reporting site up there at Timberline we look at. So it was an amazing storm up there. And if you're traveling up there, I think Anna probably touched on this, it was pretty much just at the 6,000-foot level. Nothing down around Government Camp, the 4,500-foot level. That's all okay. All right, take a look at the radar. I'm going to play this back 12 hours. So here we go. And look at all the reds and yellows. Pop, 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 pop. And see Salem right there? Boom. That was the storm that the Weather Service issued a severe thunderstorm warning for. They're worried about some high winds, maybe gusting near 60 miles per hour, some large hail, about 3/4 of an inch, a possibility. And there was scattered reports of hail in some of these other storms that came through this afternoon. There they go again. And you can see the lightning, one of our new tools that we have. We now carry lightning detection for you throughout the year, so that's kind of fun to look at as well. At any rate, should any of these storms this afternoon turn out to be life-threatening, something you really need to be concerned about other than the lightning, which is always a concern, rest assured we would have broken into programming and we would have updated you. Myself and Mark, we were here all afternoon watching these storms and the situation, which at the end of this you can see, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. It's falling apart. Looks like we'll be mostly dry for you tonight. All right, take a look at high temperatures today across the area. Cool, I mentioned earlier in the show that 56 at PDX was a record low maximum temperature. In fact, the coolest afternoon ever in Portland in September only made it to 54, so we were close, huh? Seattle had 57 degrees. Rainfall amounts in the metro area anywhere from about 1/4 of an inch down around McMinnville to up about 3/4 of an inch to even an inch when you went out to Estacada. If you go back to yesterday at the airport in Portland, we picked up 1.05 inches, so pretty impressive. Cool, and it was kind of stormy across most locations, 55 degrees, the high temperature today up in Spokane. We're at 49 right now. We have breaks in the cloud cover, and again, most areas reporting dry weather at this hour, although there are still some spots reporting some light rain scattered about. Doesn't amount to too much at this time. 48 to dew point, relative humidity 97%, winds are southeast of 5, pressure tonight 30.16 inches. Okay. This is the satellite picture, and it's going to start again, and you'll see that disturbance that produced those bad thunderstorms we looked at. There it goes. But behind it, you can see there's kind of a void. It's pretty quiet, so expect a quiet night. If you didn't get to sleep much last night, you'll get to sleep better tonight. Now, I bet you're thinking, Rod, what's this stuff up here? This is actually a big ball of warm air that's being lifted up over that cold air that we're in. As that gets lifted up over the cold air, it produces this ball of clouds you're looking at. I think some of this will spill over tomorrow. When I say we get spillage, I'm talking about mid to high level, relatively thin layers of clouds. So no rain in that for us tomorrow, but it'll probably be kind of partly or murky out there at times because of that cloudiness. Okay, this is our jet stream upper wind flow. Notice how we're in the blue. We're in the cold. I'm going to play this into tomorrow. You'll see the cold start to exit. Look at the warmer orange and red colors start to slip in. Once this coldness gets out of here, that was the main reason, if you will, for stormy weather today, we'll leave that behind. So tomorrow's a dry day, and then you can see we stay in the warmer sector as we go all the way through Thursday. See the little kind of bend in the lines up here, contour lines of equal pressure? If you're listening to the radio, reading the newspaper, getting forecasts, somewhere else over the next couple of days, some of those forecasts are calling for a chance of rain on Thursday because of this thing. But look, it's way up there to the north. So I think we're going to stay dry and eventually be warming up as we get going into the weekend. Here's our forecast for the coast, and we just redid these today. We worked hard, so I hope you enjoy them. You saw it was going to be in the 60s in the afternoon down in Newport. Look at this beautiful shot of the valley at Tillamook. 38 in the morning, 61 degrees in the afternoon, some morning clouds, but then you'll break out into some sunshine as we go up to the mouth of the Columbia. Astoria 63, Long Beach 61 tomorrow. Again, some clouds in the morning, then you'll break out into sunshine. No rain in the forecast. Corvallis 64 tomorrow, becoming mostly sunny. Well, there's a lot of movement, huh? We'll get all the way up to Salem. 65, a morning low of 39. Again, partly sunny in the afternoon. It looks like Portland should be partly sunny in the afternoon as well. And this is Longview, actually, near the Columbia River, 63 degrees. Your morning low tomorrow, 39. Again, some clouds definitely for you near that river. Then you'll start to get some sunshine. Cascade Locks in the Gorge, 64, morning low of 42 degrees. And in the middle of the gorge, Hood River 63 tomorrow. 38 will be your low, partly sunny skies. And the big bend in the river brings us to the Dalles. Beautiful shot. 64 degrees for your high temperature. Wind's not bad in the gorge. You can see them only about 5 to 15 miles per hour. There's Mount Hood, Timberline 40 tomorrow. Some of that snow will start to melt. Again, about 8 inches of it. If you think about going up there and having a snowball fight with a person of your choice tomorrow. Have fun. Cascade Locks 47 to Santiam Pass, 25 degrees in the morning. All right, Central Oregon should turn out to be pretty darn sunny by afternoon. La Plagne getting up into the 50s, and Bend 53, a morning low of 30 degrees. Partly sunny skies in the afternoon there as well. And Redmond 55, you can see the airport, that's kind of fun. The overnight low, 28 degrees in the morning. Across the east, there's still a chance of an isolated scattered shower or thunder shower. Baker City 56, Pelton 61 degrees. Again, you folks will be the last ones to pull out of that cold air that'll be exiting the west side of our state a little bit earlier on in the day. Pinpoint numbers, clouds, and maybe even some fog tomorrow morning as we really crash into the dew point, meaning the air's pretty darn moist. As you cool off, you really get condensation, so perhaps some fog, 45. 55 at noon, partly sunny skies, 65 at 5 p.m. Still kind of chilly, but certainly warmer than today by about 10 degrees. All right, Wednesday, if we get to be sunny, we should get pretty close to 70. That'll feel real warm. Yeah, Shauna's going, wow. And then I think we're dry all the way into the weekend of warmer temperatures. And in fact, some of the computer models are showing 73 would not be warm enough. So maybe we get back to some kind of late feeling summer weather for the weekend. We'll see how that goes.
A roller coaster ride this week.
Yeah. Thanks, Rod.
Thank you.
I don't know.
In music, leaving their luxurious lives for boot camp. We'll take you behind the scenes of the new Fox reality show just ahead.
Also, the excitement of American Idol is coming home in just a couple of hours. We'll tell you how to get your hands on the hit show's Greatest Moments album just ahead.
Also, a former trailblazer in the middle of a bitter lawsuit. We have more on sex accusations against Cliff Robinson.
And a troubled member of the Bush family makes another appearance in court. The latest on Noel Bush's drug problem when the 10 o'clock news returns.
Come on, Heather. Who's the better kisser, me or Mike?
Well, if you guys want to know so badly, why don't you kiss each other?
I think we'll call it a draw. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Michael, Charlie, and Heather. Spin City. Naughty Naughty Nightly.
Tonight at midnight on Fox 12 Oregon.
We'll see you in the morning, sweetie.
You, in the mood?
Always. Introducing Pillsbury's biggest cookie ever. New Big Deluxe Classics. 2 kinds of chocolate, 1 big cookie. With luscious, semi-sweet morsels and gooey milk chocolate chips, you just have to give in.
Hey, what are you doing?
New Big Deluxe Classics from Pillsbury. Go on, give in.
My heart to yours.
When Oregonians voted to limit state spending, Bill Bradbury said no. He voted to overturn our spending limit. In fact, Bill Bradbury voted to more than double the size of state government. And to pay for it all, Bradbury voted 57 times for higher taxes, higher income taxes, taxes on Social Security contributions, even a new state sales tax. Bill Bradbury believes in bigger government and higher taxes. Do you?
Relive the greatest moments from American Idol. Details of a new CD set to hit store shelves coming up on the 10 o'clock news.
Watch us now.
Watch us now.
Now we're going to change telecommunications. It's for the better. It's for the better.
We're going to make you root for us.
One action
At a time. Now we're going to make it simpler.
and more reliable.
One action at a time. Make it simpler.
More reliable. For the better.
The right thing for our customers. The customer's needs, putting the customers first.
This is not about lip service.
Hard work.
This is the spirit of service.
I'm proud to work at Quest.
We're going to build something special here.
We're going to become a
Great American success story.
Anytime with you, anytime we're a pair, anytime we make a memory to share, anytime you feel how much I care.
Anytime's a good time for an IHOP scramble, like our ranch scramble, stuffed with ham, tomatoes, and onions, topped with cheese, and served with hash browns. Right now, it's a weekday breakfast bargain starting at just $2.99.
And
Anytime's a good time for IHOP.
It happens every October. America's pastime goes prime time.
Tuesday on Fox 12 Oregon.
A Michigan woman is suing former trailblazer Cliff Robinson. The woman, who wants to remain anonymous, says Robinson infected her with the herpes virus. She says the two had been dating for a few months and they had unprotected sex after Robinson claimed to be disease-free. She's now seeking $20 million in damages from the Detroit Piston forward.
A Florida judge rules that staff members at a drug rehab center won't have to answer police questions about crack cocaine found in the shoe of Noel Bush. The ruling is another twist in a drug case involving the daughter of former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, and it's a case having serious ramifications for the governor's re-election bid. In Noel Bush's latest relapse, her rehab center had already tried to protect her. Earlier this month, a staff member found a small amount of crack cocaine in her shoe. The staffer was ready to give police a statement about what she'd found, but a supervisor at the center intervened to keep the information from police. That brought us to today's ruling. The issue: could employees of drug rehab centers be made to cooperate with authorities if patients are accused of criminal behavior? There are laws already on the books protecting patients' privacy at alcohol and drug treatment centers. Today, the judge reinforced that confidentiality, saying that if employees at these centers are hauled before authorities to testify, treatment programs would be rendered meaningless.
In the treatment facilities, if counselors are required to report every violation, then it makes treatment very difficult to work. And so I haven't seen the ruling, but I'm pleased that confidentiality is upheld. It's a federal law. It's been in existence since the 70s. I think it's a foundational aspect of the whole treatment process.
Center of giving Bush favorable treatment because she's the governor's daughter. Police have been criticized for overreacting in order to avoid an allegation of favorable treatment. And there is her father, already embroiled in a tough re-election.
At a department store, she now faces charges of giving police a false address. Too Good's sister, Margaret Daly, told the court they don't want their addresses and phone numbers made public because they've received threats. Daly, who was with Too Good at the time of the incident, has been charged with assisting a criminal and failure to report child abuse.
Well, you've seen auto workers on strike and even teachers.
But have you ever seen a wife walk the picket line? You've just got to see it to believe it. Just ahead.
I'm Carrie Tomlinson. If you bought one of these, you could get some money back. Why? Because of some possible music company mischief. iTeam 12 coming up.
Early Sunday morning, a winter day. It's breakfast time. They're on their way. They can smell the cinnamon.
Nothing brings my family to the table like these grand cinnamon rolls from Pillsbury. They're not just ordinary cinnamon rolls, they're grands.
Yeah, who can resist that cinnamon kiss from
Pillsbury? And try new Grand's orange sweet rolls with creamy orange icing.
They're grands!
Mom, Dad, we need to talk. I know college is going to be expensive, but the Oregon College Savings Plan can help. Your money will grow tax-free. Contributions are state tax deductible, and your withdrawals are tax-free too. We can use it for any college in the country. It'll make you look real smart.
Invest in their dreams. Call now to learn more about the Oregon College Savings Plan.
Now, about my allowance.
Exciting news for Nirvana fans. Details of some new releases heading your way coming up on the 10 o'clock news.
They're at it again. Another extreme ballot measure that would create more government bureaucracy, more red tape. Measure 27 is a complex food labeling scheme that would tie up Oregon farmers, grocers, and restaurants in red tape, create more government bureaucracy, and cost Oregon taxpayers and consumers millions of dollars. Measure 27. The more you know about it, the less you'll like it.
I'm Catherine Healy with Anstey Healy Design.
What's your Oregon agriculture?
Probably berries are my favorite Oregon agricultural products. Walnuts and hazelnuts, just anything from Oregon is wonderful to cook with. We just had a big crab feast at our house over the weekend with friends from Seattle. We have a package design firm in Portland. We specialize in specialty foods and premium beverages.
Employing 1 in every 12 Oregonians. Oregon agriculture, everywhere, every day.
Think you've been paying too much for your CDs? Well, you may be right. The major music companies have just agreed to pay out millions of dollars to settle a lawsuit. They were accused of jacking up prices illegally.
And the end result, you might see a little money or a CD coming your way, or at least to a place where you can use it. iTeam 12 explains. Here's Carrie Tomlinson. Carrie?
Well, this is one of the stores named in the lawsuit, Tower Records, but there are many other companies involved. BMG, EMI, Sony, Capital, Virgin, and the list goes on. 40 states got together and said, you companies are jacking up prices illegally, and it's got to stop. Now, the lawsuit says that these companies were punishing stores that were trying to sell CDs at a discount. So, for example, they say the companies would not give those discount stores advertising money that they would give to other stores. The end result now is the companies are paying more than $65 million to the states, plus giving out CDs. Oregon is scheduled to get 60,000 CDs. Now, the state says it's planning to give them out to libraries, schools, hospitals, nonprofit organizations. We talked to the Hillsborough Library today, and they said they sure could use some CDs, and they say popular music is an important part of the collection because it reflects popular culture.
There's Tito Puente, Backstreet Boys. More is better. I don't think we really have enough. Baroque music for dummies, Gordon Lightfoot, the whole collection. We don't have enough of everything to meet all the demand that we have. Al Jarreau, Britney Spears. Right.
Now, we spoke to some of these companies today, and their comments ranged from no comment to another explanation. EMI told us, yes, they were involved in a program, but they called it an advertising program, cooperative advertising, not illegal price fixing. They say, however, they paid the money just to get this over with and get it behind them. Now, what does it mean for you? Well, it means that if you bought a CD, you may be able to get some money back. And we'll explain. That's a process that's going to take several months, and we'll tell you how the claims process is going to work in the future here on iTeam 12. However, you can plan on possibly getting to use some of these CDs at libraries or schools or hospitals near you as the state gets some CDs and passes them out. Back to you.
All right, Carrie, thank you. If you have a story for iTeam 12, give us a call at our iTeam 12 hotline, 503-548-6551, or you can send us an email. It's i-team12@kptv.com.
All right, you fans of the hit show American Idol, your long wait is over.
Everything changes, but beauty remains. Something so tender, I can't explain.
You can finally get your hands on American Idol Greatest Moments. The CD features winner Kelly Clarkson's hit single, A Moment Like This, plus Before Your Love and her covers of Respect and Natural Woman. Justin, Tamira, and all the other finalists from the show have songs on the album, too. Actually, Tamira has 3 songs on it. That's the most after Kelly. Wonder how Justin feels about that one, huh? The CD goes on sale at midnight, just a little over an hour to go.
Well, Nirvana fans will get to hear some new music from the band after all. Courtney Love and Vivendi Universal Music Group have settled their lawsuits against each other. Universal agreed to waive any rights to future recordings from Love and restore her ownership of unreleased material from her band called Hole. In exchange, Love and other members of the Cobain estate gave Universal permission to release new Nirvana packages, including a compilation album with a never-before-released track, a box set, and a rarities album. No word yet on a release date.
Well, as you saw earlier tonight, Fox deployed a troupe of celebrities for the newest edition of its boot camp reality show. The special tested the endurance of a platoon of high-profile stars at a Marine basic training course. Some of the names taking up the challenge: O.J. Simpson house guest Brian Cato Kalin, former Brady Bunch star Barry Williams. Adam Housley has the details.
1, 2, 3, I don't know what's expected here.
Will they let me have my hair dryer?
I watched C Company last night. That might help.
If you're falling down and not being able to get up.
Could you little I'm a vegetarian, and I know the drill sergeants are going to get on my butt about that.
I watched Officer and Gentleman 5 times last night. I'm ready.
This group of pampered celebrities are in for a rude awakening this season as they enlist for a week of hard knocks on Celebrity Boot Camp.
Get out of rack right now! Don't you think about it!
The 10 recognizable faces will try to outlast each other for $85,000 in prizes. Hey, it beats TV land.
How do you train for this? You're supposed to be 22. That's how you're supposed to get in shape for this.
9, 10, 11, 29, 30, 57.
No Starbucks, no hair and makeup, no trailers or stunt doubles. This challenge will, well, it really won't prove much of anything, but it should be fun to watch.
As far as like my size, I'm compact, and I can be able to do the pull-ups and the monkey bars and the push-ups and all those kind of things because I've got my size going for me.
It's another opportunity to prove myself supreme. I'm a sore loser. I hate to lose. Thus, I don't lose so much.
Save it for Hollywood.
In Los Angeles, Adam Housley, Fox News.
And Coolio didn't lose. He won tonight, as I'm sure you saw. Be sure to tune into Celebrity Boot Camp every Monday at 9 p.m. right here on Fox 12 Oregon.
Very watchable show, actually. Kate Moss made the waif look an international phenomenon. Now the supermodel is a model mom. The slender 28-year-old gave birth to a 6-pound baby girl in West London yesterday. Both Moss and baby are doing fine. She and her boyfriend, dazed and confused publisher Jefferson Hack, are planning to call their daughter Lola.
All you husbands out there, take notice. There is a wife on strike out there, and yours might be next. It seems things came to a head last week when Gary Thompson decided to go fishing. It's not that Mrs. Thompson is a slacker. It's just she hasn't had a vacation since her honeymoon 4 years ago. She has had enough. What all that translates to is no laundry, no cooking, no making the bed, and the tactic seems to be working.
A lot of these women just get taken for granted, and it's time for the men to wake up and say, honey, I love you. Don't go on strike.
There you go. The striker says she's keeping this up for another week. The test for success when her husband starts thanking her, she says. And oh, yes, he has also started talking about a vacation.
She's apparently getting through to him.
Yes, she is.
Finally.
Whatever it takes.
Coming up, an update to our top stories and a final look at the morning forecast just ahead in the 11 o'clock headlines.
Also, you've seen daredevil parachutists, daredevil motorcyclists. Have you ever seen a daredevil barber? You will next on the 10 o'clock news.
Ted, they're here.
That Quiznos toasted sub looks better than ours. What happens if they choose it?
They won't.
The only way to beat a Quiznos oven-toasted sub is to cheat. Try our Bistro Beef Sub with 3 delicious cheeses on Quiznos cheddar onion ciabatta bread, served with the side of au jus sauce.
Toasty.
Matthew was a bright, vibrant young man who loved life. My son Matthew was viciously murdered simply because he was gay. I miss the hugs. I miss the hugs and the smiles. My name is Judy Shepard, and Gordon Smith stands with me in the fight against hate. I would consider Gordon to be a good friend. He's very compassionate. Matthew would have liked Gordon a lot.
Critics everywhere are hailing Moonlight Mile as hands down one of the very best films of 2002. 4 stars. It's an emotional triumph, and Ebert and Roeper give it 2 thumbs up. Moonlight Mile, rated PG-13. Starts October 4th in select cities.
Hi again, everyone. The weather today was an indicator. Basketball season is close to starting. This afternoon, the Blazers held their annual media day, a chance for us to, well, basically catch up with the guys. And there were 3 big storylines as training camp gets underway tomorrow. Media Day, where there is always a new face or two. There's also the return of fan favorite Arvydas Sabonis, who says that towel throwing incident 2 years ago is a thing of the past.
We don't have never a problem, you know. Just that is what always asking of me, you know. It's just part of job, you know, happening.
And Bonzi Wells, well, he was all smiles after he agreed to a multi-year deal just in time for training camp.
I got a job again. I'm just happy, man. I'm just, you know, going through something where no job is tough. You know, I feel like a bum all summer. I ain't had nowhere to go. I had nothing to do, you know, but I got a job again. I'm happy to be back home. And I'm just ready to get back to work.
I thought there was a lot of creativity, there was give and take, but at the end of the day, it's a great deal for Bonzi. It's a fair deal for the Blazers, and we've always been about being fair, and we're all excited because our goal was to have him on the floor tomorrow, and we're happy that that will happen.
But what gives it the point guard spot? 3 guys, all proven starters. They can't possibly coexist, or can they? Ruben Patterson is one guy who hopes Damon Stoudemire is staying put.
I hope so. You know, I mean, I don't know what's going on upstairs. You know, I mean, business is business. Hopefully he stay, but if they trade him, they trade him. But, you know, who knows? Hopefully he do stay here.
It's my job to get him to accept every role that I put out there on the floor and get him to do the things I ask him to do.
Damon has gone on record saying, start me or trade me. And it sounds like he's going to put up one heck of a fight to stay in a Blazer uniform.
You know, I'm not here to, you know, take nothing away from nobody, but, man, that's just me, you know. And I just feel like when I step between the lines, somebody had to kill me, man, to take my job. And that's just how I feel, you know, point blank period. You know, and it's never going to waver.
All right, the Blazers also signed 3 others to their training camp roster today. Richie Fromm, Chris Dudley, and Billy Owens, who has bounced around the league the last 9 years. All right, after losing to Northern Arizona over the weekend, the Portland State Vikings dropped 7 spots in this week's 1AA poll. PSU returns home to face Southwest Texas State this Saturday. And as the Seahawks were slapping around Minnesota last night, they still found a way to lose. And, you know, this is not the play, but it's a nice hit by Chad Brown, right? Their win did come at a pretty hefty price. The Hawks lost left guard Steve Hutchinson to a broken right leg. Hutchinson underwent surgery late last night and is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks. And then there were just two teams in the NFL remain undefeated, the Raiders and Chargers. That, of course, is thanks to the Baltimore Ravens, who ran right past Baltimore tonight. Now, this is the play of the year. Broncos missed that field goal, and Chris McAllister realizes it's still a live ball. He runs it back 108 yards, and just like the Seahawks yesterday, Baltimore scores 31 big ones in the second. Ravens win it 34-23, and prior to tonight, they had just 7 points total all season long. Hey, the Major League Baseball playoffs begin tomorrow, and right here at 5 o'clock, you can catch the Angels and the Yankees. Remember, Fox, your official home for both the Division and World Series, and you just can't plug that enough. Hooray. Hey, so what does losing 106 games get you? That's obvious. How about a trip to the employment office? The Detroit Tigers today fired manager Luis Pujols, but he wasn't the only one getting a pink slip. Tampa Bay also lost 106 games. Today they fire skipper Hal McRae, but as a consolation prize, they're going to keep him in the front office. Finally tonight, if the Ryder Cup left you craving for more, boy, did we find it in Chewelah, Washington. This is the UX Open, an extreme golf tourney. It's golf with no boundaries, leaving manicured fairways and dress codes by the wayside. And instead of putting, that is, on the mountain course, the goal is just to pitch the ball into a painted circle. One player eliminated on each hole, and unplayable lies were always fair game.
That's a tough game.
I've never played that course, but it looks beautiful. I think
sure does.
do a little damage on it.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
Sure.
Well, now it's time to take a look at the 11 o'clock headlines.
Snow began falling over the weekend on Mount Hood and continued throughout the day today. In just 2 days' time, Timberline Lodge went from bare pavement to this. 5 to 8 inches of snow on the ground. They say they need a good 30 inches of snow on the ground before they can open for ski season.
Ward Weaver, the man suspected of killing Miranda Gaddis and Ashley Pond, gets his wish, at least for now. A judge today granted his motion to suppress an audio tape. KPTV's Ryan Deal is in news control with the reason why. Ryan?
Well, Shauna, it all comes down to attorney-client privilege. Obviously, this is something that Weaver's attorney did not want in the hands of anyone else. And today, the judge who listened to the tape decided that the jury would not. This, of course, is what Weaver's attorney wanted. And although no one will disclose the contents of the tape, we are told it was created from the Clackamas County Jail and it was intended for Weaver's daughter. Now, the decision was made to keep the tape from Weaver's daughter because if it were opened up to Weaver's daughter, that might also open it up to, of course, the grand jury. So for now, no tape. Of course, this is something that the state could appeal. Live in News Control, I'm Ryan Deal, the 10 o'clock news.
Accused killer Christian Longo is back in court tomorrow, the first of 9 pre-trial appearances just this month. He's expected to plead innocent to the murders of his wife and 3 young children. Investigators say he killed his family, then dumped their bodies into the waters off the Oregon coast. His trial is expected to begin in mid-January and he will most likely face the death penalty.
One of the oldest outposts in the McMenamins Empire is gone. The 113-year-old Rock Creek Tavern north of Hillsboro burned to the ground early this morning. With no sprinkler system in the building and no hydrants on Cornelius Pass Road, fighting the fire was next to impossible. McMenamins hopes to rebuild in about 6 months.
Up and down the West Coast at nearly 30 ports, longshoremen are locked out of the docks tonight, and the cargo continues to pile up. KPTV's David Wilson joins us from the North Portland Harbor with how things are going tonight in Portland. Dave?
Well, about 600 longshoremen here in Portland are locked out of the docks. There's a fraction of them here behind me here outside Terminal 6, and at this point, they're locked out indefinitely. The labor dispute is costing the nation $1 billion a day, and it's dragging the Northwest alien economy further down the tubes with it. Oregon is the #1 exporter of wheat in the U.S., and that industry has so far been deeply affected. Construction materials also, along with high-tech and other agricultural products. Both sides of the dispute were in San Francisco today. They're trying to iron out their differences for a new labor contract, but so far nothing on that. The Bush administration says they better settle something soon, or they may intervene and order everyone back to work. We are live in North Portland. David Wilson, the 10 o'clock news.
For the latest on these stories, plus weather, traffic, and sports, be sure to tune in to Good Day Oregon from 5 to 9 a.m. tomorrow morning right here on Fox 12 Oregon.
Well, it was cold, it was rainy, even snow up in the mountains today.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Here's Rod Hill with a look at our wake-up weather. Rod Hill.
Yeah, folks in California can't say that, can they? Take a look real quick at these are the past 24-hour rainfall totals, not necessarily the storm total itself. Estacada over an inch. Not as much when you got down to McMinnville at 0.16. Do want to show you our pinpoint radar one more time tonight. And basically, the point of this is to show you that after stormy weather all day, this is the last 3 hours, it's finally clear. So I don't expect much more than the brief chance for maybe a traceable light shower overnight tonight. And that's about it. Here's a look at your wake-up weather for tomorrow morning. About 45 degrees in Portland. And I'm becoming a believer that we will see some fog tomorrow morning. Right now, the temperatures are crashing into the dew points, and those two match. You know, you have a pretty good chance to get some fog, so we'll look for that in the morning. Here's the 7-day forecast, and at this point, no more rain or storms or snow. What else do we have today? No more hail, no more lightning, no more anything. We'll be dry. 70 degrees on Wednesday as we start to warm up, and then perhaps a little bit warmer as we go into the weekend. Again, fog could be pretty dense in some spots tomorrow morning, so be careful about that. And again, if you missed part of our show, shame on you.
Yeah.
But there's like 8 inches up at Timberline Lodge. So if you have the day off tomorrow, maybe you want to drive up there and have some fun.
Okay.
Good idea. Thank you, Rod. Finally tonight, some people get their kicks riding roller coasters or maybe skydiving.
Yeah, but in Turkey, hey, it's exciting just to go to the barber.
Ooh.
All right, this is no ordinary haircut. Ismail Akbaba trims his customers' whiskers while bouncing on a basketball. And if that's not strange enough, he actually holds the razor with his mouth. That is a brave customer right there. The reason for this, hey, he wants to play his tambourine. Akbaba says he enjoys the unusual. He says he can also shave a customer using his feet.
Ooh, I'll bet that's pleasant.
Yes, people are lining up out the door.
Shave me with your big toe, big boy.
Please. And that's going to do it for us, everybody.
We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Meet Rob Nelson, talk show host. He's new around here, and it's a tough neighborhood.
Stupid talk shows!
But Rob's got a whole new way of doing things.
I've had it!
No preaching, no screeching, no trash.
Hey, we're gonna question everything. It's all about getting to the truth. And you know what? It may just change the way you think.
You saved my TV.
That's the idea.
The Rob Nelson Show.
Today at 9 on Fox 12 Oregon.